2.5 inches shorter, and his reach is just a ½ inch shorter. Both men, contract weight was 115. They came in at 114.6 actually. Eto comes off a knockout in the 4th round over Romel Oliveros in Tokyo. His last fight was there in February. And Cintron comes off a 1st round knockout over Eliezer Quezada in Puerto Rico. He made his debut here in Kissimmee back in 2017. So Eto will make his way to the ring first. 0-1 at World Championship fights, by the way. But a lot of knockout power, 19 wins. That's 79% of his wins out of 24 coming by the knockout route. And his corner is very formidable. His manager is Yoko Gushikin, who was a former WBA light flyweight world champion, retired in 1981 with a 23-1 record and 15 KOs. And his trainer is Tadashi Tamori, who was 19-7 with 5 KOs and was the former WBC light flyweight world champion. He retired in 1982. That's pretty good coaching.
Wow, that's very good coaching. Well, it's a different world. When worlds collide in this.
I'll give you another one that he's got 7 wins in a row since his last loss, which was to Carlos Cuadras, who fought tonight in the first bout of the evening here in Kissimmee. He lost to the WBC Super Flyweight World Champion Carlos Cuadras. That was back in November of 2015. And here comes his opponent, Cintron, trained by Ivan Iron Boy Calderon, the 2000 Puerto Rican Olympian, who was the former WBO minimum weight and light flyweight world champion. So he's got good coaching as well. Cintron undefeated from Bayamon, Puerto Rico. 2 successful defenses of his WBO Latino junior bantamweight title. His corner is Calderon, Miguel Diaz, and Javier Cintron. This is Javier, only Puerto Rican boxer to compete in 2 Olympics. Only 24. Looks confident.
Very confident. Great time too. You be in the ring, see some friends, you see some people around you, your coach and everything else.
Let's go to Lupe Contreras.
We continue here at Osceola Heritage Park. Once again, the action being brought to you by Hall of Fame boxing promoter Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated in association with Tutico Zavala's All-Star Boxing and being sponsored by Geico. This bout, 10 rounds. On the line, the WBO International Junior Bantamweight title, President and Supervisor Francisco Paco Valcarcel. Our judges are Radolfo Olguidar, Lisa Jampa, and Michael Ross. At the sound of the bell, the man in charge of the ring, referee Andrew Glenn. Introducing first, the challenger, standing in the blue corner, wearing white with teal trim, he weighed in at an official 114.5 pounds. With a pro record of 24 victories against 4 losses, 1 draw, 19 of those victories coming by way of KO. The former interim WBA flyweight world champion and former super flyweight world title challenger from Okinawa, Japan, Koki Eto. In the red corner, the defending champion, wearing Boricua red, white, and blue, he weighed in at an official 114.5 pounds. And he enters the ring an undefeated pro with 10 victories, 5 of those victories coming by way of KO. Defending his WBO International Junior Bantamweight Championship from Bayamon, Puerto Rico, Javier Cintron.
here we go. Gentlemen, you got the rules in the dressing room. You got any questions? Protect yourselves. No questions? Protect yourselves at all times. Gentlemen, touch it right there. Step back. Be ready at the bell.
So we're set to go in this junior bantamweight WBO international title fight. Eto and Cintron.
Sizing up your opponent first minute of the round. You see this guy. Some feints on like that, a feint, foot feint. Look at that from Eto. Talked a lot tonight about foot feints.
So a lot of good footwork in our last bout. Lopez showed great footwork. Cintron getting through. Throws a smile as well as a punch to his opponent. And Cintron looks like he's moving better thus far. Eto trying to get to the midsection.
Turn. I love that move. Cintron moving to his right. That's behind his opponent. His opponent has to reset. Eto must reset his feet whenever you move behind him like that. It's good work.
Now Eto's up on his toes. Combination thrown by Cintron. He gets out of trouble. Combination by Eto. Eto goes to the body.
Good. Cross. Left hand by Cintron. You know, I fought a few left-handers in my career, and they're hard to fight. They come at you backwards. Their punches come at you from different angles. So you
that's a good angle. Yeah. That was a straight angle. And Eto answers. But Cintron's straight left was a real solid blow.
Good punches by both fighters, sizing themselves up in this first round.
But throwing some leather, you know?
Sure.
Sometimes you just see a little bit of feints. Now, right hand!
Wow.
Eto on the foot! Oh, man! Cintron is in trouble. He doesn't know where he is. He cannot gather himself. That's it.
Anytime you cannot stand on your feet.
The fight is over.
That's a good call. Good call by that referee. Anytime you cannot stand on your feet. Look, still stumbling. Somebody get attention to Cintron.
Our night of knockouts continues.
Eto, wow.
Eto with a first round KO. Cintron wanted to continue, but he did not know where he was.
What power. Wow. Long and lean. He is tall.
He caught him right on the button.
Just popping it. Wow. What a shot. Power in those hands. Here it is. Eto is allowing right
hand.
Right when Cintron
Look at this. Look at this now.
Boom.
He's trying to tell the ref something, and he's not making any sense of it.
The referee, you know, that was a 3 knockdown rule right there. Anytime you cannot stand on your feet in a fight, the fight should be called right there. Whoa, what a shot. Look, oh.
He got up fast, but he's trying to talk to the ref. I don't know why he's trying to talk to the ref. It makes no sense. I'm okay, I think he's trying to say.
He's trying to say I'm okay. Yeah, well, he wanted to continue.
Yes, he did.
That's how tough Cintron is, but wow, what a shot from this man. Koki Eto, man. Right hand, power in that right hand. Phew.
Lupe Contreras, take it from here. First round KO.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Aaron Glenn deems the defending champion unable to continue, obligating him to stop this contest with an official time of 2 minutes, 37 seconds of the opening stanza. declaring the winner by way of technical knockout and new WBO International Junior Bantamweight Champion from Okinawa, Japan, Koki Eto.
Koki Eto, he made his name tonight in Kissimmee with a thunderous punch and a first-round KO of Javier Cintron.
The hits just keep coming tonight. Here it is. Look at this. Just a chopping right hand, right on the chin, right on the side of the jaw. Wow, what a punch. Cintron down. Couldn't stand up. It's on spaghetti legs. Spaghetti legs. And that's it. That's all the referee saying, no more.
And he gets
Good
the
call by the
hardware.
referee, Andrew Glenn.
He gets the hardware for Francisco Paco Valcarcel. Beautiful, beautiful. What a performance.
You know, it really works. These kids work on these execution of these punches in the gym, and then when they get in the ring and do something like that, it's a fabulous feeling. You practice it, you vision it in your mind, and it actually comes true and it happens.
We enjoyed tonight's fights on ESPN Plus. We hope you did, Sean O'Grady. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, I did. Great to work with you again.
Absolutely. A lot of first-round knockouts, and what a way to go off the air with Eto putting Cintron on the canvas, and then Cintron in no man's land, and the fight stopped in the first round. So that's the story from the Osceola Heritage Park in Kissimmee, Florida. ESPN will be your choice at 10 o'clock with some great fights. Enjoy, everyone.